Welcome back to another episode of the Get Up and Get Out podcast. We are on episode 008, and this week on the show we have Adrian Lopez. I'm not going to say his full name. We'll get into that later. It's crazy. He's from Mexico. Today on the show, we are going to talk about how this guy got up and out of his country and his city, Mexico City, and has lived in several other countries around the world. He met a wonderful woman, and, well, instead of me talking about it, why don't we bring him on the show?
Hello, Steve. Thank you.
Adrian, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man? Super. Okay, my name is Adrian Lopez. I'm from Mexico City. I'm currently living for 1 year and a half in Munich. I'm user experience designer, lead from a company that is IT in Munich. I'm married with a Russian designer girl, and we have a son. His name is Massimo. Massimo, yeah. I like travel, cook, art, music, and I consider myself like a natural dreamer. So this is a brief intro about me. So,
Adrian, we need to start at the beginning. So our fans and our listeners, they love listening to stories. They love listening to how people mustered up the strength to leave their country, not because they hate it, not because they're like, oh my God, I don't like my country, but they saw an opportunity, right? So you said that you're currently in Munich. We'll get there a little later. You work in like this UI, UX. It's kind of like this website background, sort of what we see, but the technical side of it, yeah?
This is a little bit about how to improve the experience when you are using software, when you are using applications, when you are using websites, to allow to the user to complete the task in easy way. And the other thing is how to make consistent all the buttons, all the elements or components are in a website or on software that they look like a similar and they are easy and they improve the learning of the user. So it's like a pretty interesting thing.
So it can do a lot of different things, from allowing someone to have a very easy time on a marketplace and purchase something, or to get information, or maybe it's some sort of learning software and the software is laid out with specific colors or how it's designed just to make the user experience better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's how you find solutions, for example, to the user journey. Let's say that the user needs to complete a task, and this task, instead to take like 4 clicks or 6 clicks, you can solve in 2 clicks. This
right,
is like
exactly.
part of the experience, and this is like how you avoid that the user will feel frustration.
So that's basically kind of like how the internet was back in like 1993. And it was like so difficult to even log into anything. It was like some sort of secret passcode.
And without MIDI sound.
True.
Was awful.
So Adrian, dude, you guys live in Munich now. Let's go back. And let's start where it all began. You're from Mexico City, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about growing up there. Tell us. I mean, because I've never been to Mexico. What is Mexico City like?
Mexico City is surrealistic. It's chaotic. It's a lot of traffic. It's a lot of nice food, and that's a lot of friends, a lot of parties, a lot of deep night. And so on, but in some moment it got complicated. The reality, the news about security and so on. Of course, it depends where you are trying to find things or wherever you will find like more problems. But this is like something right now complicated. This is not the Mexico I grew up. This is a little bit different now, and hope it get better soon. What is like that many friends. You can make easily friends. It's really, really nice. Everything is about food. Everything is really surrounding the food. You go in the morning for a coffee, for a breakfast, then you go for a brunch, then you go for your lunch, then you have a meeting with friends and you say, okay, where we can meet each other. Okay, let's go to this coffee. And after this coffee, okay, where we are going. Okay, go to dinner, to restaurant, to tacos, wherever. And then you go to the bar, and then after the bar, what we can find. Okay, let's go for tacos and so on. Everything is about food. So we are quite stick to the foods. And I think that is one of the difficult things that you find when you go out to how can I explain, like to learn to live without this food. So
So that's what it's been like for you for the past many years, is learning to live without the food.
Yeah, the first half year is hard to get used to the simple food or normal food. Yeah.
So in Mexico City, basically you've got lots of pollution, lots of people, lots of traffic, but que sabrosa, you have wonderful food.
Yeah, a lot wonderful. And,
So
yeah.
you graduated university. What's your degree?
Graphic designer, master.
And where did you start working? Did you get a job directly out of university?
Yeah, I was doing practices and I started to work parallel when I was doing my studies.
Mm-hmm.
Then I decided to put my studio with some friend, but it was running like a really good. Then after that, I came to work with the president in that moment from Mexico.
Wait a minute, you worked for the president?
Yeah, I did.
Now, who was the president at the time?
Felipe Calderon was the
Say it one more time.
Felipe Calderon.
Calderon. Yeah. So okay. So how long did you did you work for Calderon?
Almost 6 years. Because because you can just work for the period they are allowed to be president.
So 6 years you were with the government.
Yeah.
And now during the transition, did you? Of course, because it's government, you know it's coming, right? You know that Calderon is going to be out of office, a new president's coming in. So describe that transition. How long were you transitioning before you got another job?
Well, you need to prepare everything like a half year before that everything gets finished.
Right.
So anyway, the plan was to continue with the studio. That in some moment I stopped running with my friend. We tried to run the studio and so on, but then suddenly it came like a different.
So you guys tried to do your own thing. You tried to have your own business.
Yeah. We were working.
And about what year was this? When you guys started the business?
2011? No, I think that was 2011, 2012, something like that.
Okay.
So.
And how long did you guys give it a try before you said, yeah, like it's not going to work?
It's we were struggling like 1 year and things, I mean, we're like moving a little bit different because sometimes you realize that the life it comes and it has like a different paths for everybody. And for example, these guys someday come to me and tell me, okay, I'm leaving for a while. I will be in USA for a while. Like some stuff. And I say, okay, and what we do with this? We will see. Then it came to me like some chance, and I made a trip to the Central Europe. That is where I start all my story to come to Europe. I make a trip.
So you just did it for vacation purposes?
Yeah, I did.
And what was the plan? Like your vacation? Where did you wanted to go to a couple different places?
Yeah. I did like a this tour of Central Europe to was, if I remember, was just Czech Republic, Austria, and Slovakia, because was the biggest chance to do something.
Okay.
I mean, to travel and to connect like a faster, and I like it.
How long was it? How long was this vacation?
like 1 month and a half, or 1 month, 1.5. I don't remember.
Wow. So almost 6 weeks
Yep. Yeah.
by
Yeah. Yeah.
yourself.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So tell us, this was your first trip abroad? This was your first trip to Europe?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Before I was when I was, what was it, 2000? I was in Spain like 3 months or something like that.
Nice. And do they understand you? I know, because the Mexican Spanish and the Spanish
yeah.
Spanish, and
Yeah, it's super easy.
do they make fun of you or anything? Do they tell you, "Oh, go back home, cucaracha"?
Yeah, it's like a typical. It's the same when they go there to Mexico. We make fun of them.
Yeah.
Then the opposite around. Yeah.
So what about the food? Like did they impress you? Did Spanish food impress you?
I think that in that moment I was pretty young to understand a little bit.
Okay.
But then,
were you?
I was like falling in love with the Spanish food. Until now, I think that is one of my favorites. I must confess that I love the Spanish food.
Viva la comida. So why did you go to Slovakia? Why did you go to Bratislava?
Because I was like with the most feedback from different companies when I was submitting my CV.
Okay.
Was Slovakia.
Okay, so there were a lot of companies in Slovakia that were interested in you. So were you doing interviews in Bratislava then?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
And you were staying at like a hostel?
Yep. Yeah, I stood in a hostel and so on. And then appeared this company from Spain. They told me, okay, but we have the office in the small part in Slovakia.
This was a Spanish company. It was a Spanish company that had a affiliate in. And what is the name of the town?
Martin.
Yeah. And how far away is Martin from Bratislava?
3 hours by train.
Right. So it's Martin is in Slovakia as well as Bratislava, of course. So 3 hours away from Bratislava is this small kind of like mountain town.
Yeah, kind of. You have like a famous mountain there. But it's like a quite famous city right now because there is like a university for medicine. University.
They have a medical university. Yeah. So you're living in Martin. You're all alone. Did they help you get set up with an apartment there?
Not properly. I mean, it's one of the things that is not so easy when it's like these companies. I don't know. I find like similar situation even right now in Munich that is not so easy.
Yeah. We've been talking about that, right? Yeah. So you basically had to find this apartment on your own, right?
Yeah.
And how was that experience? Did you have to do a lot of translations? Did you ask somebody to translate for you? How did that work?
I was like with some friend. That moment was friend, and she started to help me out with all this stuff and so on.
Okay.
And was a little bit easier because let's say that taking a look backwards was not so open still the society there in Slovakia at all.
So did they look at you and treat you differently? Was it hard to find an apartment because the fact that you weren't Slovakian, or because maybe the fact that you were Mexican, or were there difficulties?
Because the fact I was foreigner or I was speaking English and so on, so situation in Slovakia is not so easy.
Okay. You're listening to the Get Up and Get Out podcast with Steve Crisell. Be sure to visit us on Facebook at the Get Up and Get Out podcast and on Instagram at Steven Crisell. Now, back to the show with Adrian Lopez. So how long did it take you before you actually got an apartment?
Well, it's not so hard as Munich. I mean,
Yeah.
it took
Munich's a
us.
different story. I mean,
Yeah.
in Munich, it's like you're actually going on a job interview for your apartment, right? Like the people that own the apartment are like telling everybody, no, no, no. Like they have a lot of power as to who lives in their apartment. So when you come in, it's like a job interview, right?
And even it's like I never see here, like, well, I never see in my life before that 20 couples are at the same time
At the same time,
in the same place
yeah.
visiting the apartment is so awful.
Yeah,
It's,
if you guys listening don't know, Germany is very interesting in the way that you secure yourself an apartment because you can go to what's called an open house and you'll be in the apartment with 10, 20, 30 other people that are interested in renting the apartment and you have to like kind of give them like a financial CV. You have to talk to them, maybe like make friends with them somehow to get the upper hand so they like you or something like this. And then still, I mean, lots of things can go wrong, especially if you're a foreigner, because they want their investment to be secure.
yeah, yeah,
It's crazy.
it's totally crazy.
But anyway, so you're in Martin. You're doing what you like, what you know, the UI UX, this whole web development. And how long were you in Martin for?
I stayed there for 6 years.
6 years. So that's a lot of time to kind of ask you about a lot of things about Slovakia because a lot of people only know Slovakia as like, you know, from the old movie Road Trip. Like it's just like you don't want to go to Bratislava. Like,
Yeah,
but
probably.
I visited you in Bratislava and it's a cute small. I mean,
Yep.
literally, you can see the entire city in like an hour, 2 hours. You
Yeah.
know, like everything.
Yeah.
But you're out in the country, so talk to us. What kind of story do you have for us that kind of maybe weird or interesting?
Oof, it's like many things. Well, first, well, to continue with the story, when I came there, we're just working Slovaks, so I get used to learn a little bit the Slovak there with these people and so on.
Sure.
But it's all time like a difficult to adapt so fast. You are coming from big city to small city and so
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Is like a little bit different. I think that what it helped me so much was that working for this Spanish company during the day, I have communication with different, and not just in Spain with different people, but I mean they have office in London and LA and so on. So it was like to speak like between English, Spanish, and so on. So it was a little bit alive
Right.
for me to go into this online life and then to get used to the Slovak traditions is like pretty interesting to me. I mean the how you drink beer,
How do you drink beer in Slovakia?
like never stop. It's like they drink literally like water and
They have
nothing
like three lined up, and they're not even done with the first one.
Yep, kind of. They
So they don't drink for fun; they drink to forget. Like they drink until like they're just.
no, I think that no, they drink like really like normal, like but like if I told you okay, let's go for coffee, the people there tell you okay, let's go for beer, and that's all. But it was so interesting to know the kind of party they like. I mean, it's not the same as the typical Latin party that you go from the night till 5 a.m., 6 a.m.
Sure.
And all night and you are drinking. But let's say like not continuously you are drinking. You
People
drink
are drinking festively. They're drinking responsibly throughout the night, so that they can actually make it to 6 a.m.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, they're still baracha, right? They're still drunk,
yeah.
but it's not these guys. So in Slovakia, these guys could be done at like 2 a.m. and they're just like they're wrecked. They're done.
No, I think that even this is like okay, let's go for a bar. Okay, let's go 5 shots or 6, 7 shots of vodka, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but and you say like, what's up? That's
And
like
they're still okay?
no, not at
No.
all. And yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
I'm a
what?
light guy. I'm 70 kilo. So 7 shots for me, and I might have to go to the hospital.
Yeah, no, but they have like a heavy experience drinkers, which is like a really interesting. But the other part, I mean, they love nature, or they love like different things. They love bikes. They love go to the mountains and so on. So it's things that I really were struggling to learn, and was like a pretty awesome.
In your opinion, how is it to make friends with people there? Is it rather easy, or are they closed? What's the deal?
I think that it depends. I mean, it's not so easy, especially because let's understand that we come from different frames. You are not more students; you are working.
Mm-hmm.
So that it represents like a different understanding. Each one is busy in their own stuff and so on, and you don't have almost this common access as when you are a student, that you go to the same party, to the same situation. So it's like not easy. I mean, you got like some good friends, honestly. I mean,
Mostly colleagues, like people from work.
yeah. People who help a lot and so on.
Let's jump into a little something that people want to know. You kind of had your own business there in Martin.
Yep.
Well, in Slovakia, I should say.
Yeah.
Can you talk about like why did you set it up? How easy or difficult was it to set it up? And so let's just start with those.
Okay. Well, was the chance to get a little bit more independent, and for my purpose to have like more freedom to sell services apart my company was like a good opportunity. So I set up my own freelancing time there, but was hard. I mean, it's not easier because as you are foreigner, they have like a different rules, and you need to prove many stuff and so on. So it's pretty hectic to get your business there. You need to prove that you have a certain amount of money, that you don't have any debts somewhere and so on, but it's like an easy process, I remember. And especially the bureaucracy in Slovakia is something that you don't want to mess up with that, because it's like many offices and so on. And sometimes, of course, my case was like a typical, more complicated case for them, because it's like they are so square mind that it's like A B C D. Oh, Mexican shit! This is not coming in my book. How we can solve this and so on. So it was like a really tough to manage there. But of course, it's a little bit good to do it, because then, for example, you can easily move in the foreign police.
Did you have any help setting up your business in Slovakia, or did you do it all yourself?
No. I have help, of course. I have.
And like you help, like somebody like helped you for free, or like you actually found like a professional and you paid for them to help you set things up.
I did twice, both of them.
Okay.
For moments with a professional, for moments with friend, and so on. But was like.
How long did it take you to go from like the idea that you want to set up your company to you actually have the papers and you actually have your own company in Slovakia? How long did that take?
It took like 3 months.
Okay. And about how much money do you think that you spent making that happen?
Like a 3K, something like that.
3,000 euro.
But apart the money you need to prove there,
Sure.
you need to keep in your account and so on.
Sure.
But it was like that. So
Okay.
I mean, it's not so difficult, but.
And what was the like? I mean, we already went through some of the advantages of, why you wanted to set it up. But did it help you in establishing yourself as a maybe a permanent resident inside Slovakia? Did that help that you had a business there?
Yeah, it helped because, for example, for me, the case is that you are not depending from some company for renew your visa.
Okay.
So this is like a more on your own, and you can perfectly just to prove your tax
Your income.
declaration per year and so on.
Yeah.
And it's like a really good. I mean, it makes really good, especially then after when Sasha came to live with me was like even easier. I will just say not open all the doors,
Ah.
but was like a part of to prove that you have a solvency,
Yeah.
economical
Yeah, yeah,
solvency.
yeah. You have the ability to provide
Yeah,
for this other
yeah,
person. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So it was like a not big deal and so on. And then was just everything related to what you have. Of course, was my way. I think that is not the
So you're working for this Spanish company in Martin.
yeah
You have now you have your side business, which is your company.
yeah.
Now we just you just mentioned Sasha, so we'll jump in there. Talk to us. Who is Sasha, and how did you meet Sasha?
Well, Sasha is my wife. Sasha is from Moscow. Well, she was living in Moscow, and then I was involved in some creation of some applications, and we were trying to reproduce the Tinder application in my company. So they uh, told me, okay, but you need to pay the membership and so on. And I was like using by my own purpose, and I was like, okay, I will click, and then I met Sasha, and we start to talk. Was like a pretty nice. We make match, and we decide the first moment to meet each other in
Yeah.
Budapest.
You guys went to Budapest and you met there. Yeah.
Yeah, we met and we start like thinking, oh, it's nice. We feel attracted, and I say, okay, it looks like she's the girl I'm looking for all these years, and so on. And we start to travel around the world in some moments like, okay, where we meet each other. Okay, let's go to Madrid. Let's go to.
Yeah, yeah. Do the list. Do the list. Where did you guys go together?
I remember that was Berlin, Madrid, then Slovakia, then Moscow, then we continued to Italy and so on. So it was like a pretty awesome, and I like this on her that she's like let's say she likes adventures to
Yeah.
travel and so on. So was a perfect match to me because I believe so much in this spirit to travel and discover and to don't close the borders in your mind and to fly and fly and fly. So was good.
So people don't know until now, because I will tell everybody that Sasha is my wife's really good friend. So
Yeah.
you guys met each
Yep.
other on Tinder, and we find out that my wife's friend is sort of dating this guy, this Mexican guy who lives in Slovakia, and I'm just like, who? What?
When it happened.
Like, what is
Yeah.
she? And I remember meeting you, and I was just like, yeah, like Adrian's a really cool guy. And I was actually more happy for myself. I was like, let's get Adrian to come to Moscow. I've got a friend. We can practice my Spanish, right? And we can go and hang out. We can drink and tell stories, and we can end up having kids together. And I was like the girl. I was like, I had this whole story played out, and you stole Sasha from Russia, and Sasha's like, yeah, I'm leaving, and I'm going to Slovakia. You're listening to the Get Up and Get Out podcast with Steve Crisell. Be sure to visit us on Facebook at the Get Up and Get Out Podcast and on Instagram at Stephen Crisell. Now, back to the show with Adrian Lopez. How long were you guys living together in Slovakia?
1 year. 1 year. Yeah, 1 year.
And then crap kind of hit the fan, job wise, right? We could use another word, but this is a clean podcast. So so things kind of went upside down. Talk to us about that transition.
Okay, that was after we visited Mexico. She was for first time there, and I felt like some things were not moving in Slovakia as I wanted. Not about the not about the work and so on, but just about the country per se. That was like nothing changing so fast. And so I told to Sasha, okay, it's time to move them up again, and let's try again to find like something. So I start with her to apply like for a job.
I want you to tell the story because I think it's safe now to tell this story. There was an accident that happened in the apartment in Martin, and there was a hole. There was a hole in a wall.
Yeah, accidentally.
Tell us what happened.
In the door, accidentally I fall. I was like, let's say we have a closet.
Yeah.
Or wardrobe. And I was like taking things from up. But then when I go down, something happened that my feet is inside the door.
Your foot went in the door.
Yeah. My feet is inside the door there.
How big was the hole? Can you describe it?
Like this part. It was not so
That's
big.
a big hole, though. That's not. I mean, we're not talking like a hole. We're talking like pretty decent sized hole. So you got a hole in a door, in an apartment that you're trying to move out of.
Yes, we were finishing there the contract and so on. So it was like, oh my God, what we can do there. So to pay that door was like 500 euros. Surely.
500 euro to replace the door.
Yeah.
And Adrian said,
no,
I
didn't
do
that. I was like, okay, we can do it. But then Sasha said, like, she was super pissed off and so on. So it was like, oh my God, what we can do. And then we were trying to find like some sticker, and that was like a match a little bit and to cover.
Sure, to be the same color as the door.
Yeah, but of course not. Was not possible to find it.
So what did you guys do? What was the solution?
The solution was to take a picture of the door.
Okay.
Because I have like the
camera.
The nice camera, so I took a picture of the texture. We print this. And we just fill up the door with some foam,
right?
To make hard.
Make it flat and hard, right?
We cut the sticker, we put there, and nobody noticed that.
That's how you fix doors in Slovakia.
Yeah.
Take a picture, print it out, cut it, slap it on the door. Done.
Yeah, it was like a really, really super good luck. And then, yeah. We moved here. Well, I moved here. I came to this company, and they didn't support at all to find a place to stay.
Would you say that that's quite common in your experience? Maybe talking to other foreigners, do you think that's quite common in your talkings with other people that companies don't really help you that much in finding an apartment?
Yeah, I suppose that is quite. I mean, the question is that they have like too much demand.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, you could be replaced for another foreigner.
Because that's the problem, right? There's not enough apartments for the people that are looking for apartments.
Yeah, for sure. And it's super expensive. I mean, you need to be prepared. If you want to come to Germany, you need to be prepared to have like quite enough money too.
Yeah, you need like what, like 10 grand or something to like end up buying not only talking about the first month, the last month, and the security deposit, which is all equal to 1 month's rent. So that's 3 months
No,
rent.
it's 3 months.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's 3 months rent because each one of those months of rent is the first month, the last month, and the security deposit.
Yeah.
And then you're going to need money for whether it's paying the electric bill or the water bill, buying an iron, and all those little things that kind of go into like, moving into a home, right? The cleaning
Yeah.
supplies and the towels and all this.
And the storage, because you are paying as well the storage where your things are and so
Yeah.
on.
Oh, of course. Yeah. So yeah, go right.
Yeah, you need to pay the storage, then the service to move your things from the storage to the house and so on. So it's quite
And it's not
complicated.
Slovakia. I mean, even the difference between Slovakia and Germany is probably financially quite different. When
It's 3 times
3 times more
bigger.
expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 times more
So what a
expensive.
price you might consider paying some guys to move your stuff in Slovakia, you have to multiply by 3 in Germany.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
everything. So that was like really tough, and especially because you are worried about where to find as faster your apartment, because your wife, I mean, to bring your wife, you need
The
to
proper
prove that
documents and
apartment.
paperwork.
So it was like a really tough.
And she's got to take a German exam, no, for her to come?
No, no,
Or
because
for
I have
you, she didn't?
no, because I have blue car.
Okay, so you had the blue card, so that's very important. If you have a blue card in Europe and you're bringing your spouse along, your spouse does not have to get a language certificate.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's not problem at
But that
all.
blue card is only for people that are actually. I mean, there's salary requirements to it, and so if you have a blue card, people are paying you quite a decent amount of money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You are.
like a highly qualified specialist or something.
Yeah, it's up. That's 50K per year.
So a minimum of 50,000 or more.
Yeah. So it's like the minimum, but yeah, really helps this stuff to have the blue card.
Right.
It's really, really cool. And yeah, it was like super hard to get the apartment. I was in many of these community visits to the apartment, was like so crazy, and people doing like weird things to get apartment and so on. But everything, as I told
What
you,
was some of the weird things that they were doing to get an apartment? What do you remember?
I remember like people who go almost like a party dress, like they are super.
So how they dress?
Yeah, how they dress is like
Okay.
like a really weird. People who are super talkative and to show off that they are nice people and so on. Now I didn't like about.
So
This
how did you I visited you in Munich and
Yeah.
I've seen your apartment and you're in the center practically. I mean you
Yeah.
are I mean your address is center. It's a beautiful apartment in this kind of roundabout, right? Like you have this like park that's a round park and the street is like circular. So you drive in off the main street and then you have this like circular road. Very, very cute, very nice building. How did you land an apartment in the middle of Munich?
It's just coincidentally. I mean, again, everything moves. Sometimes you need to. Well, I think that my advice sometimes is like not to worry so much. Everything will fit in the right position.
What were you using? If you don't mind me asking, what websites or what phone apps were you using to look for apartments?
Well, we were using the locals, but they have like so much offer in eBay.
Yeah, they do. eBay is a big one in Germany.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we find that better answer with eBay.
Right.
So in eBay we have this apartment.
So weird.
Yeah,
I don't think eBay for
this is
apartments.
like a rental, sub rent. It
Uh-huh.
means that these guys were living, or they are living for 2 years. And what's the deal? Just the contract for 2 years. but they told us that probably they will renew 1 year more. So it's like a pretty nice, and was like a super cool. And yeah, I
It's
mean,
awesome.
it was really, really crazy.
Because I know, aside from eBay, when I lived in Germany, I was using Immo, 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 .de. So it's immo.de. And actually, I have one on my phone. It's Immonet, Immonet,
Yeah,
IMMONET, Immonet, which is an app that I have, and I like to just see what's out there.
yeah. I
Just see what's
think
out there.
Scout is the other.
Scout, yeah, Scout.de.
Scout.
Yep. SCOUT, Scout.de. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Any other ones?
Bonung.
What is it?
Bonung. Bonung. Like,
Spell it.
is WOHNUNG.
Wohnung.
Oh,
Wohnung. Yeah, Wohnung .de, I think.
yeah, something.
Let's see here. Immowelt. Immowelt DE. Maybe we'll put them up in the show notes. Immobilien Scout 24. That was
Yeah,
a big one. Immobilien Scout 24.de.
WG is like,
Yeah, Wohnung, WG, right. Actually, Toytown Germany, I think .com, toytowngermany.com. It's a expat website forum, and it's got a lot of great tools there. There you can find places that will rent to foreigners. You'll find for sale. So if you're looking to get some stuff on the cheap, maybe an ironing board or stuff like that, some little knickknacks to fill your new apartment up with. Or if you're looking to sell, if you're looking to move out of Germany and you need to get rid of it, toytowngermany.com is a really, really good one. They've been around for years.
yeah, it's like,
They have them all different cities too, right? So when you go in, you can start searching by city
yeah.
in Germany. So how are you liking it in Munich? What you like?
A lot, yeah. I think that is super, super nice life. I mean, it's not so dynamic city as Berlin probably, because this is
Very traditional, very small.
yeah.
I mean, not very small. I mean, Munich's big,
Not
but
very small,
it's
but it's like a more to set up a family is a little bit more serious, and it's not so much like a party scene as Berlin and so
very
on.
serious. Yeah, that's so funny. It's it is funny that it's not a party city,
Yeah,
but every year they have Oktoberfest.
yeah. You remember something?
Like they are just holding it inside. They're holding it in for a whole year. Come October, they're like, "Let's party!" Right? And they just
Yeah, you
explode. And then 2 weeks later, they're like, serious.
Yeah, I see it. No, it's like really nice. I mean, to grow a family, I like here. It's not quite. It's super expensive. It's like a pretty expensive. I think that is the most expensive city in Germany. So it's pretty interesting. This very super international. I mean, it's one of the places where you can listen many languages in the tram or in the subway. It's like a really, really crazy, and not just for foreigners, but the people living here. I mean, in my company, we have top 20 nationalities or something. So
Wow.
it's like a really crazy.
Adrian, I wanted to ask you. You came from Mexico.
Yep.
You've lived in a couple different places in Europe.
Yep.
You learned Slovakian. You learned
Yeah.
English since you were in grade school. You're currently learning German.
Yeah.
How do you feel as an individual? Like, do you feel like you're losing kind of like your identity, or do you think
Yeah.
that you're gaining just more of your identity, what you are maybe capable of doing? How psychologically, how is that played for you? Because you're what, 40, 41?
42.
42.
Yeah.
And you've been out of your country, you've been out of your country for
8 years
8 years, same as me.
and
So,
running.
tick, 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 tick. You're listening to the Get Up and Get Out podcast with Steve Crisell. Be sure to visit us on Facebook at the Get Up and Get Out podcast and on Instagram at Steven Crisell. Now, back to the show with Adrian Lopez. So, how do you feel as an individual when you look at yourself? How do you feel?
I mean, it's a super interesting question because we talk already this in our private conversations that sometimes when you back home, you feel foreigner there and not more your home. And when you go or you are here abroad, still this is not your place.
Not your place.
So you feel like a little bit like not with identity, but you are more open-minded than others. And sometimes you are a little bit more more critic about the situations that are not working in different places. And I learned that everybody in their own country is complaining about their country. So it's not just because if they are poor or if they are rich or whatever. It's like the common human part that you are complaining about, that you don't like your country. It's normal. You notice the people here who are full of stereotypes, that they come for first time to some country and they are still full of stereotypes, the big hat or the big t-shirt and so on. But
what about the ones that live right next door to you that have never gotten out of their own country?
Yep.
Now?
Yeah. So,
and the stereotypes are actually just a way of proving to everybody else is that you haven't gotten out. You haven't experienced. Yeah. So if anything, this is really kind of positive, like a interesting time. Maybe difficult.
Yep.
But maybe it's a step forward in the progression of humans, of people accepting other people. Just a fun little question. On the side of food, because we started off this conversation talking about food. Could you pick one food from each of the countries that you've lived in that you really enjoy?
Yeah, for sure. From Mexico, the typical dish we have, the name is mole. And this is like a kind of sauce made by chocolate with chili and 20 more ingredients. And this you put in chicken and tortillas, and you make like a really nice thing. It's the most nicer thing.
¿Qué es otra vez? Tell me again. How do you say it?
Mole.
All right, so for all my Mexicans and Latinos and Latinas out there, mole is Adrian's favorite food. I think he probably misses it by now.
Yep, it's wow. From Slovakia, probably the fried cheese.
Is it a soft cheese or is it a fried hard cheese?
It's fried hard cheese. Fried hard cheese. So it's like a really interesting.
And do you eat it by itself? Do you have like a little stick or something, or do you use French fries or something?
With
French fries.
Yeah. And right now from Germany, Kaisersmerch, that is like kind of pancakes, but like with a crusty almonds or crunchy almonds, sweet, and apple, and some sauce and so on. Is like a really nice. I like so much, but it's not perfectly German. It's Austrian.
What is it called again?
Kaisersmerch.
Kaisersmerch.
Yeah, and of course the sausage here is like really amazing. They have like many kinds, and it's like the vice boost of the coffee.
I tell you what. From like, because I'm American, I never shared this with actually anybody, so this is probably a chance for people to kind of get to know me a little bit better. From America, I probably miss my mom's penne alla vodka. It's either that, It's penne alla vodka, or it's like a baked ziti. Baked ziti. It's like you take these ziti shells, these pasta shells, and you put them in a whole bunch of tomato sauce, and then you put a whole bunch of mozzarella on, and then you put more shells and more pasta sauce and more cheese, and then you bake it in the oven for like 50 minutes. And then it's like the cheese is all golden brown on top, and you cut them into like square. I mean, they're huge. It's like a little box of nothing but pasta and cheese. It's amazing. I also miss my bagels. I miss good Jewish bagels from America, from Long Island. From Germany, it would have to be this stuff called Käsespätzle. So it's a spätzle. It's like these noodles. It's German noodles with cheese caked all over it. I think you get what I'm saying. I like pasta and cheese. If you take pasta and you take cheese and you put it together, that's Steve's favorite dish.
Yeah.
And from Russia, something that I really like. I like borscht.
Me too.
Borscht is really good. I like solyanka. My wife is talking to me. Oh, well, she's right. I have to knock out all those previous answers about Russian food. It's Olivier. And Olivier is this potato salad that just knocks your socks off. Really, really good. Adrian, I want to put up for everybody your Instagram.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're on Instagram at Lori, which can you tell us? It's not, you're not Adrian. Who's Lori? Is it an ex-girlfriend?
No, it's just the combination between my two surnames, Lopez Arrieta. So it's L-O from Lopez and Ari from Arrieta, and I mixed them in some university experiment, and it stayed for there. And some people really call me like that, and so on. So
you're truly creative, my friend. You're truly creative. I want to leave our listeners with a little bit of information and a little bit of positivity. What's one thing that you would have changed in all of your adventures? What's one thing that you might have changed along the path?
This is like one advice I will give to the people. There is like first, as the authorities, and don't put too much attention to the advices of the people. Because sometimes, I mean, really, you have like some question about how to bring your family or what to do. Sure. And the first we do is to go to the forum and to ask in the forum, and you receive some really complicated answers and so on. It's better go to some institution, tell them what is happening, and it will take time, but it's like a more proper information, but not with the version of the people, because then you will feel stress, you will feel fear, you will feel that it's not possible to do it, and this is not true. So I would like better to stress into find the right information from the right authorities, not from the people.
That's really, really good advice. What do you think the future is for you? What's the next step?
Well, the next step still is not well defined, so we want to stay here. We are working for it. I'm satisfied with my actual work and to grow Massimo and just that. And I mean, and I think the nearest future is go to travel. We want to go to beach after this corona crisis.
I think everybody wants to travel.
Yeah. For me right now, the situation is that I noticed that the world is not so big as we think. I mean, when you notice the kilometers we already crossed, what we are doing, how much we are traveling, and so on, you notice that the world is like this a small part.
Absolutely.
And what you wanted to do, and so on. And I think that it's just to believe, and to
amen to that, brother. Let's believe.
Yeah.
Let's believe.
Yeah.
Well, let's close this out, Adrian. I want to acknowledge you one more time. You are a fantastic human being who I think proves to himself more than anybody what is possible. That you can create your future as long as you're willing to work hard for it. I am so proud of you. I am so happy for you and Sasha and Massimo finally living together in beautiful Munich with a wonderful job and what hopefully will be a very nice future. All the best and all just tons of success for not only you but for your family. And thank you so much for coming on the show. It's really been great.
Thanks so much. Continue with this show. My best wishes to this show that it grows and it became like so famous and so transcendental. And all the best.
We hope so. Once again, guys, if you want to get in touch with Adrian, if you're looking at moving to Slovakia or Mexico or Germany, hit up your boy Adrian over on Instagram at Lori, Loarri. This has been the Get Up and Get Out podcast, episode 008 with Adrian Lopez. We're out of here. We want to wish you guys all the best. If you dream it, you can do it.
Okay.
Take
See
it
you
easy.
guys. Okay.
Ciao, buddy.
Ciao. Bye-bye.